If you don't have good client reporting, you're probably jeopardizing your account or even maybe jeopardizing your job. Maybe not now, but sometime in the future. And this ties all your hard work together. So don't leave it out. The hope is that you have favorable data, obviously, to present, which highlights your good performance. You don't want to be put in a place where data doesn't look good and the campaign is failing miserably. If it's got to this point, it's most likely your internal reporting within your team to isolate traction points and to be agile enough to action has failed. You want to rectify any downward trends before the data gets onto your client's or boss's desk. My suggestion is always to have a dry run presentation with an individual or a group who hasn't seen the data before. This person or group needs to have a look at the report with a critical eye, but be objective. And you or your team member will need to be able to handle their feedback without taking anything personally. It needs to be constructive. And it's important you create a team culture, which I guess is a bigger picture thinking, where feedback and opinion can be given without offending anyone. So I often find that when working on client reporting, you leave out details which you have in your head, but client hasn't seen this yet. So in your head, the interpretation of the data makes sense. But for someone seeing it for the first time, the data might fall flat without the impact that you intended. So without these details, clients don't understand the context to what you're reporting on. And this is where the team can help you out. Okay, so what do clients look for in reporting? The bottom line for every client is the question of, if we were spending X, what are we achieving for X? This achievement can be different depending on the client's objectives. And it's really important to push back if client starts to change the objective during the campaign, but expects the same results. So here's an example. The client wants more leads, but they want to weight the budget now, maybe 6 months in, on getting more reach, but expect the same leads. In my opinion, that's impossible. So at this point, you will need to push back and remind the person of what you agreed on as your primary objective. So let's take a look at the race model to isolate these metrics. So reach. Brand awareness and reaching new audiences can be achieved through a few platforms and tactics, right? The two biggest platforms we like to focus on, yes, you guessed it, Facebook and Google. Those are the two that marry search and social together. The metric you'd want to measure for Facebook performance is obviously the word reach, and that is inside Facebook's reporting. However, this can become a vanity metric if your targeting is incorrect. So incorrect targeting in Facebook can be made through decisions on location, gender, age, or interest. And if you get these wrong, then how you report on reach will be incorrect and the data will be worthless. This is why, to measure true performance to determine effective reach, we incorporate elements of ACT into reporting. ACT in this instance will be Facebook likes and shares, and if these numbers are high in ratio to reach, we know that the boosted post or the custom ad in Facebook that you're targeting then the right audience, and then the organic reach should naturally increase if the people are liking and sharing a piece of content, and that's when reach explodes. So be aware of that. And then we have Google. So to achieve the objective of reach using Google's AdWords platform, you will need an ad display campaign. Google is continuously making upgrades to the ad platform, especially with their targeting. We've inserted a link at the bottom of this recording to Google's Marketing Next conference, where they announce the new product launches for the year ahead. In context to this video, please watch it because it's really important so you can understand where Google is going for business. And then reach for internal reporting purposes, identify two things. Audiences that are most likely to interact with your ad. The metric is clicks, likes, and shares. And then number two, ad designs and messages that are most likely to interact with your ad. The metric, clicks, likes, and shares. And then reach for out of sights for client reporting purposes. find the cause as to why users are interacting with the ad. Use the data to back it up. So whether it's an image, the type of image, the audience that you're targeting, etc. Then reach for strategy. When looking for traction points in reach, you always need a controlled test environment. So for example, if you're testing an audience, take the same design and copy for the ad and promote it to a different audience with the same budget. Test to see which ad then delivers the highest reach, and you'll find your winner. If you want to test design and copy, choose the same audience and promote the two variations of the ad to see which design delivers the highest reach. And again, you'll find your winner. When looking at reach through the performance formula lens, distribution should be the primary focus. With an objective of reach, the campaign success will largely be determined by the accuracy of the targeting. Focus on distribution, and who knows, clickability and shareability may just show positive results as well because of the relevancy, remember, relevancy of the ad. The thinking is to give distribution focus and priority, which then means both clickability and shareability will do well because of the relevancy of the ad. Very important to note. And then act. No doubt my favorite objective. What your clients want to be seeing here are user interactions, which then sends the user on a journey to becoming a qualified lead. And when I talk to act in a reporting conversation, I refer to the buying journey. It's a known fact that users will interact with your brand or small business several times before they decide to purchase. Understanding what the user experiences along this journey to purchasing is very, very important, and therefore obviously needs to be measured. We need to find the right metrics to bring this data to light. And here are our top 10 metrics to measure interaction performance. So, number 1, likes on Facebook posts, shares on Facebook posts, number 2. Number 3, clicks from Facebook posts. Number 4, clicks from email campaigns. Number 5, clicks from Google search ads. Number 6, a return visitor that is not a customer yet. A click-through from blog post to product or service page, number 7. Number 8, an email subscription. Number 9, a click to reveal phone number on your website. And then finally, number 10, an email form submission. The gold, that's it. And then act for internal reporting purposes. You need to identify the following. Number 1, content that is performing the best. And the metrics for that is likes, shares, click-throughs. Number 2, campaigns that are performing the best. The metrics here, cost per click, cost per engagement, cost per lead, depending on the platform that you're using, Facebook or Google. And then act for out of sight for client reporting. Track the journey of a user from first interaction to final interaction, which is the lead, the email form submission. The objective of the report is to show how content influences the journey towards the lead. What client will want to see is that content, whether an information article or a landing page, is delivering results, and a client with ACT as their objective means leads are their primary KPI. To determine success, all interactions prior to the lead are signals to show the strategy is or is not working, but ultimately the client is going to want to know how many leads they've got each month. So calculating cost per lead is very, very important, but the out of sight needs to tie the content and campaigns together to form an overall view of what is working and what is not working. An example of this is to measure all visitors who visit a section of the website that has obviously had an investment into it. So for example, an evergreen piece of content that gets repurposed or updated every year. So what you do is take a snapshot for a specific time period in Google Analytics, and the more complex the buying process, the longer the time period for the snapshot. And you isolate the users who have visited the specific section of your client's website, and in this case, the blog or article directory. You then segment these users by filtering for page views. In WebGrowth's case, it's the word blog. All article content sits inside the blog folder. So we can use this as a filter to see those pages using Google's custom segments. We've created a first interaction sequence and an any interaction sequence so we can understand how important our content is in terms of the decision-making process towards the lead and then the purchase. So wearing the client hat, they would want to see a high-level view of this data so you can either prove the value or show the opportunity for the content. So in ending, to really get an understanding of ACT, you need to understand content, because content, well, the performance of content is going to be determined by these metrics that we've just spoken about. So, and that's how we want to be able to identify the importance of this content. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, we haven't got to convert and engage in terms of the metrics and so forth, but it's really simple. For convert, you're looking at cost per acquisition. So the amount of money you spend and the amount of sales you're getting. Very, very easy. Engage gets a little bit more tricky because you're looking at repeat customers and customer satisfaction and so forth. And I don't feel that in this course we're ready to tackle that because of the intricacies of HubSpot and all these other CRM tools. And this is not a CRM course. So I'm going to let go of Engage for right now because I know that most businesses are interested in Reach, Act, and Convert. Those three. Engage we can get to later.